I have a little bit of a Milwaukee rant for you guys today. There's a few things that I just cannot stand that they produce. In general, I love their products, but there's a few things that I will recommend that you don't buy. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Bubbas Fabrication, where we motivate do-it-yourselfers to do it yourself. I have a few things that I wanted to share with you guys about Milwaukee that I'm not a huge fan of for multiple different reasons, but in general, I really want to say that I do love their products. In general, I think their build quality is great. I don't think I have a single power tool that I own from them that I don't like. They're powerful, the batteries are better than any other brand in my opinion, and I think there's really solid tools, but there's a few things that I just do not really like. One of them being their tape measures. I own quite a few of them, to be honest with you, and I just do not truly enjoy using their tape measures. I feel like they're bulky, they're a little sloppy, and I just do not enjoy them. I have a tape measure brand that I actually would prefer and recommend. I'm going to be doing another video on that in the future, but tape measures I just am not a huge fan of for multiple reasons, but that's one of them. They've never broke on me. They've never had any major issues. I don't enjoy using them, and I personally prefer other brands instead of Milwaukee. Another thing is their fastback razor blades. This one is actually quite a few years old, but I don't enjoy it. There's many others that I prefer instead, and it's just not the best tool that I've ever used. And another thing that I actually wanted to share with you guys, but I've actually since thrown it away, is their 11-in-1 screwdriver. It was the biggest pile of junk that I've ever owned in my life, and basically the shanks that go into it, they break. It had flared out, and I use my tools hard, but for expensive as their hand tools are specifically, I think that they're writing on their name a little too hard, and I just don't appreciate when brands do that. And I personally have not knocked any of the power tools that I own of them, but in general, I don't think that a lot of their hand tools stand up to the quality that their power tools do, and for that reason, I typically don't buy them, especially after I've had a few of them. Another one that I want to talk about is my tool bag. Now, I have owned this tool bag for about a year now, and in general, it's been pretty good, but I do have one major complaint, and that major complaint is this insert here. When there's weight of the tools on one side, it pulls the whole thing over, and there's no stability in the center of the bag. And that's a big problem for me, and I have an actual fix for that. Legitimate fix that we're gonna do and repair it the correct way, but it just makes everything super tight over here in this section, and I don't like that. I think that for as expensive as their tools are, they should think through some of these kinds of things, especially like if somebody's gonna get this loaded up with tools, it makes it so crowded in here that you can't get to anything, and when there's no weight in it, it doesn't do that originally. So that's a big gripe of mine. I love Milwaukee tools. I don't want anybody to get me wrong, but if there's a flaw, I'm definitely not going to support a brand just because their name, and I wanted to share some of the issues that I've had with some of their products, and I hope they improve on it. I'm sure that they will at some point in the future, but that's one of my Milwaukee gripes. Thanks so much for tuning into the video. There's gonna be a lot more videos, especially on updates on some of the things that I prefer instead of Milwaukee hand tools, and I hope that you'll subscribe and stay tuned for those coming up here too.